Austin-Preece. I live here in Gambia and we run Gunjur Project. I live here with my husband, my daughter, her husband and my beautiful grandson that was born here.
Wow.
I used to be a youth worker in the UK. And I used to be a youth work manager and I managed youth work in youth clubs, in schools, on the streets, and then decided to pack it all up and come here.
So why Gambia?
We used to come here on holiday. My husband was a drum teacher in the UK. He taught djembe drums around schools and youth clubs. And from that, he wanted to come to where the drum originates, which is in Africa, and this is a very nice, safe place. So we used to come here regularly, and we used to have drumming times. And in the UK, we used to involve young people because we used to come here regularly. We would see the poverty, we would see things that we wanted to change, or we thought we could help change, and we formed a drumming group of young people that went out and did performances in Chester Cathedral, in Chester Town Hall, on the streets of Chester, and they raised money. And they put a fridge in a health centre, they put a roof on a school, and they used to keep saying, why can't we come, why can't we come? But then I would risk assess another hotel or another guest house, and there wasn't anywhere suitable to bring them.
Yeah.
So when we did decide to come here, we thought, well, okay, we'll make somewhere that is suitable for young people from UK to come and mix with their peers here in Gambia, and that's what we've done.
I mean, we have visited quite a few compounds nearby yesterday, and people in the village do live without running water and also without electricity. So how did you perhaps embrace the change in terms of the environment being so different from what you were used to in the UK?
Well, when we first came here, we didn't have running water, we didn't have electricity. We've installed all of those. And when we get our guests, we encourage them to think, especially our young youth guests, to realise that electricity is a commodity that we're very lucky to have all the time. Because, okay, we have it in this compound, but all the compounds around here have none.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes it can be a little bit a challenge to live, because we live very well in comparison to the people around. But there again, if I am 60, so I need certain comforts.
Yep.
But while I'm here, I can make changes for people's lives, and I can improve people's lives. We've got 120 children sponsored. We've got 30 free places at the nursery, and all of them are because we're here. We've got a medic post built, we've got a nursery built, we've got a lower basic built. We've helped schools all around Gunjur and in Brikama. Well, I say we, it's not really we, it's the people that come here. The people that come here see what we're doing and say, oh, we'd like to make a difference. So they'll sponsor another child, or they'll give me money to do something that they see needs doing. Yesterday you went for a tour of the village. The thing that you weren't able to see, I wouldn't think, was the women's garden, because at the moment it'll be overgrown. But in the dry season, there's a women's garden now with a well, whereby women can grow vegetables so that their diet for their children improves, so that they can sell some and make a bit of money.
Yeah.
So altogether their life is enhanced because it's there. And that's because Gunjur Project is here. It's not us. It's because we're here and enabling it to happen, really.
I mean, I can see that you're involved in quite a few activities. We went to visit the local school that you're sponsoring, is that correct? And we went to see a natural reserved JPAC. Again, they said that you're involved in that. It seems like you're involved in so much around here or in the area. So what exactly is Gunjur Project?
Oh, Gunjur Project is Gunjur Project Lodge. And we have eight rooms, and we encourage people to come. from that has formed Gunjur Project Association, which Gunjur Project Association is a Gambia registered charity. So therefore, and we have a memorandum of understanding with the education department, and to increase educational opportunity for young people in the area. We've also been contacted by UNICEF about our involvement with the village because of what we do with the village. Because what we try and do is set up sustainable things that will improve life.
Yeah.
Like the medic post enables people to get treatment without having to go 5-6 kilometres down to the Gunjur clinic.
Yeah.
Which if you're sick, it's a bit of a problem really. What is Gunjur Project? I think we've gone off the track a bit, but I don't know. We're almost like an organisation that changes with the guests that come and with the needs of the population. And what we try and do is give the people that we work with what they want, what they need, rather than what we think they need. So we always ask the people, what do you want? I mean, the school that we've built is because the community were building the school. We enabled it. We got the corrugate and the paint and the resources, but the people did it.
Yeah.
It's the same with the medic post. Okay, we've enabled it and we got money for it, and we put drugs in there, but it's it's volunteers from the community that are running it. We don't want it to be that it's us two bobs doing it all.
So it's being funded by volunteers and also the visitors in a way?
All our visitors, our visitors come, and it's all according to what their strengths are. So for example, totally random, we had a girls' football team that came here, and they were led by a referee, a woman referee, a woman referee from the UK. She came here, we linked them in with the girls' football team. We almost made a girls' football team because they were coming. And now 3 of those girls are in the Gambia national squad.
Wow.
Which we only found out the other day.
Yeah.
So we paid for their training, we paid for, or I say we, it's like the royal we. We as in Gunjur Project and all our visitors. The women's football team came twice. They did training, they trained the trainers, they brought footwear, they brought kits, they put encouragement into the girls, and now there's 3 in the national team. So it's setting up things that can make a difference to people's lives. Maybe those girls wouldn't have achieved as high as they have if our guests hadn't come.
And sort of got involved in it, yeah.
So basically, the guests that are coming, we work with what they've got, and we find an area of the community that will benefit. So, for example, in November we've got some people coming from Warrington Wolves, including one of their players. Warrington Wolves is a big rugby team in Warrington. Very famous. They played at Wembley, and one of the men that did one of the tries, I don't know his name, is coming on in November, and they're going to be delivering rugby skills to the Gunjur Sports Committee. Now the Gunjur Sports Committee is a voluntary organisation that is trying to encourage sport in the village, but the only sport that they really have the ability to deliver is football.
We've noticed that, yeah.
So now they're going to be taught rugby skills, but on top of that, these people have already said they're going to leave money to employ 2 people as sports coaches to encourage more students to get involved in sport.
We had an opportunity to really experience authentic Gambia, an authentic way of living, which I don't think is possible if you're staying in a let's say a resort hotel.
It's not.
So that was truly an invaluable experience. So how can people get involved in Gunjur Project if they're abroad, or for example they're interested in visiting Gambia?
Well, they can visit our website and have a look at what we're doing. They can come and visit us. We run all sorts of different projects. If they want to come and volunteer, they can come and stay here and volunteer. If they want to come here and just have a look around the place, they can. If they want to send us money, they can. We had £2,000 sent from a school beginning of the rainy season.
That's very nice.
Which has helped so much because and they didn't put parameters on what I spent it on.
Yeah.
So I was able to put water into a school. I was able to put drugs in the medical centre, and then I sent them a report on how their money is spent.
Yeah.
If they want to sponsor, we get people. Like I say, I've got 120 students sponsored.
Yeah.
What we do is we send them a report, show the child's at school.
Yeah.
Can't say that it shows the child's doing well because sometimes they're not such good students, but maybe they just need that opportunity and somebody believing in them.
Yeah.
For example, there's a boy down the road who we sponsored. I think he was on the verge of being a bouncer, and I was a bit like that about sponsoring him. He's now head boy. He wants to be a doctor. He's the highest scoring pupil in the school. And yet he was there on the verge of being a bumpster because he was intelligent.
Yeah.
He had no money to go to school. So of course he's going to get money somehow. He's going to do something.
Yeah.
And he would have been one of the ones that is asking you for money and begging, basically, or trying to trick you. But instead of that, he's now at school, he's head boy, and he wants to be a doctor, and his sponsor will help him achieve that.
Just to put sort of things into perspective, we're trying to find out how do people on average, for example, earn in the country. We're told about 1,500 dalassi, is that correct?
That's right.
So that equals around £30. Roughly £30. That's how much people earn per month, majority. And that means that from that amount of money, that's really enough just for food and perhaps some school fees, but some families don't even have enough for the school fees.
A lot of families don't have enough of the school fees.
Yeah.
They might send their child to school maybe up to upper basic, where it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the child goes to senior secondary, so many children drop out.
Yeah.
So many children drop out. It makes your heart cry because some of them are really, really good students.
Yeah.
But because the cost of senior secondary is so expensive, and they say it's free education for girls, so the girls don't have to pay a school fee.
Yeah.
But they still have to buy their uniform, they still have to buy their books, they still
Yeah.
have to buy all the other things that go with it, pay for their study fees, pay for this, pay for that. So therefore, the majority of parents cannot
Send their children to schools.
To send their children to school. They can want their child to have a better education,
Yeah.
and they've usually proved that by seeing their child through to upper basic.
Yeah.
But then financially, they haven't got it. They can't enable them to go that extra step. And without a leaving certificate here, then the student is not going to get a reasonable job. I have to say there's not that many wonderful jobs here,
Yeah.
but at least if they have a leaving certificate and they have a reasonable education and they have some choices.
They increase the chances, yeah.
They have some choices. We have so many choices in the West.
Yeah.
We have so many choices. We can choose about what we wear, what we eat, everything.
I mean, again,
We
I
have
was
so few choices.
I was surprised that, for example, a bag of rice that would feed the family is costing around 700 dalassi, or the price has gone up.
It's gone up. It's about 900.
It's about 900. So if you think about it, a huge sort of a portion of their earnings out of 1,500 is being spent on just rice.
Yeah, just goes for food.
Yeah.
And don't forget, there's no social security, there's no retirement pension, there's no benefits.
Yeah.
No benefits at all. So if you're sick and you can't go to work, you've got to get money from somewhere. If you're too old to work, you've got to get. So therefore, your children are your social security, your retirement pension. Because if you have children and you bring them up well, then they will look after you. They will try and support you in their as they get older. All the young boys that work here, every single one of them is supporting their parents and their brothers and their sisters and paying for this one to go to school and paying for that one to go to school. I mean, we've made it that we sponsor one person from each.
There's lots of pressure
staff.
on people that actually work.
terrible pressure, because especially because they work for two bobs. Two bobs is us. But as soon as that people think that they work for us, they think that they've got lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
And what we try and make sure that they do have a good wage here. We also give them a lot of our people bring gifts or leave stuff behind, and that's shared out by the staff. Everything, if a tip is left, it's all shared equally.
Yeah.
So that because everyone works hard here.
Yeah. I've
And so
noticed
if
that.
they take enough things home and bits and pieces home, exercise books, pens, pencils, that helps their family and their neighbours' families. Gambians are very, very generous. They will try and help their own people. They don't. I think that we have this in the UK. We have this thing of people standing there with their hands out. Well, as soon as they've got anything, they tend to give it away. In fact, Alaji, our business partner, I said to him one time, Alaji, you will never have anything. As he was telling me about how many pairs of shoes he bought for a Tabaski. Because for me, I want him to have a house. I want him to have somewhere, because he works so hard. I want his standard to go up.
Yeah.
And he says, Joe, hang on a minute. You don't know how they live. And I do know how they live, but I tend to forget it. But I guess because he's living there all the time. As I say, I tend to forget it. How can I forget it? I guess I want somebody to stand up and him have more.
And to show them that it's possible to,
But because he gives it all away all the time, I think he bought about 50 pairs of shoes at one Tabaski, because it's very important for people to have shoes for Tabaski, something new. And if you haven't got any money for anything new, it's really nice if somebody gives you something.
Yeah, so that's a very sort of different reality, and we were kind of introduced to that during our stay, which is, again, amazing experience. The other thing that I would like to ask about that I have found actually quite remarkable is the happiness. That despite of the fact that people have very little to live on, they actually seem to be very happy. Children, people are genuinely very nice, and that's what amazes me.
I think that's why we're here. I mean, Africa's a big continent. The world's a big place. That's why we're here. We came here, and people can smile in the face of adversity to such an extent that we have people that come. We have staff that come here. Even when they've got malaria, they're smiling.
Yeah.
The other night, Alaji was dancing. He had malaria.
I know.
I was saying, please, Alaji, please.
You should rest.
Relax. Please, Alaji. Rest, relax. And next thing, because he felt that people needed somebody to get up and dance and show them how it was, he did it. Hats off, really. I hope that I can smile when I've got nothing.
Yep. I mean, for anyone complaining about anything in the UK, I mean, my advice would be just go to Africa and experience, a real Africa, and you get things into perspective.
Well, it's funny, really, because I do an evaluation with our young people. With our groups of young people, we do evaluations as they go.
Yeah.
And we ask them what they've learnt and what are they taking back. And the majority of them say about their education that they'll value their education more.
Yeah.
That they will, and many of them, which is because it's very hard to quantify, isn't it? What are the outcomes?
We were talking about the people, what they're able. I think we touched on education, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about filling in their evaluation forms, and they say that they will value their education more, that they will take the opportunities that are offered to them. A lot of them say that they will respect their parents more. And that surprised me, because I didn't think that would be an outcome. When you make a list of all the outcomes, what will young people learn? What will young people take away?
Yeah.
That was one thing that I hadn't thought about. But so many of them make really positive choices. There's very few young people that we don't touch. I've seen big 6-foot strapping lads. They get off the plane, they have this walk, and they think they're cocky and they're full of it. And then and they go, and we ask them to wave, because everybody here waves at you. So please wave. It's not very nice for a child to wave to you and you don't wave back to them. And they say, oh, I feel stupid. And then by the end of the week, they're going like, I can't believe I'm going. So, yeah,
it's great to sort of witness the transformation.
Witness the transformation. We reduce grown men to tears. Very good at it.
Okay, so if you had an opportunity to share the message, because obviously now we're living in a world which is global, it's so easy to share the message with anyone on this planet. So what would your message be from Gunjur?
Should have given me notice of that question. What's my message?
It's got to come from the heart.
My message is that we can all make a difference. That every single one of us can make a difference. If every single person sponsored one child, all the children in Gambia would be sponsored. They'd all have a free education. Their parents wouldn't have to worry about whether they could afford to send them to school. If every single person just stopped and thought about what it would be like to live with no electricity, no running water. We put in running water in schools. Oh, yippity-doo. There should be running water for everybody in their houses, in their homes. Yeah, stop and think. Stop and smell the roses, is it? Which I do, actually. I do go round and smell the flowers, because otherwise we can forget.
And could you please remind us of your contact details so people know how to get in contact with you?
Okay. It's, you can visit our website, www.thegunjurprojectgambia.com, or you can email us at thegunjurproject@yahoo.co.uk. But if you just put Gunjur Project into the computer, it'll tell you.
You'll be able to find it.
It'll come, because our fame is spreading. I mean, after all, we've now got TripAdvisor Certificate of Excellence, because we've managed to please all of our guests that have been here. Or nearly all.
Well, we had actually looked around when we were trying to find the accommodation, but you were definitely a winner, and we've made the right decision, so thank you very much for looking after us.
Thank you.
And introducing us to authentic way of living in Gambia.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it.